Good morning, social studies students. This is Mr. Sayre, and I hope you're having a great morning. It is wonderful Wednesday, and today we're going to be learning about the ingenious ways the Mayans, Aztecs, and Incas adapted to their geography. So our content objective is today students will be able to analyze the methods about how they adapted geographically to their land and their climate, which is important for them. But it's also important for us, we who live in California and face droughts, etc. You guys are going to have to be smart about how you manage things in the future for your success. And not only were they amazing in terms of survival, they were so amazing that they had an overabundance of food that enabled their populations to grow and expand. And they got wealthy off that, just like California does. So be smart in the future. Your language objective today, the students will be able to evaluate how the Maya, Aztec, and Inca adapted geographically by answering questions using slides and a video as your sources of information. 3 pictures here. You may not think they're significant, but they are somewhat. The first one is the Mayans, and you can see this was one of the 4 different types of geographies that they dealt with. This is the rainforest. And it was so thick that for hundreds of years, people flew right over, didn't even know that there was this huge Mayan civilization until somebody flew in a plane kind of close and said, wow, that looks pretty amazing. Went back, checked it out, found it, and it's amazing what they found. So that was obviously the rainforest version. The next one down is the Aztecs, and the Aztecs were a group of rejected people, and they were looking for a sign from their gods, and the sign was an eagle perched on a prickly pear cactus eating a snake. Now, some of you who know about the Mexican flag might say, aha, that's what that is. So they settled in a place called Tenochtitlan, which means place of the prickly pear cactus with an eagle eating a snake. And so that was right in this area in a swampy lake. Nobody wanted it. Well, they took it over and they adapted that lake by creating canals and lots of different things that was amazing. And that became the city of Tenochtitlan and then changed later to, drumroll please, Mexico City. And so they took over all of Mexico City by their amazing farming, but also they learned how to fight from their neighbors. And so they were a very aggressive, strong tribe that took over many different areas. Third are the Inca. And the Inca also were discovered by airplanes when airplanes found different things. And this is a place called Machu Picchu. And a lot of their territory was above the 15,000 to 20,000 foot range. So their bodies adapted, their lungs adapted, but also their farming adapted. And they had to deal with different things about how to farm on these steep hills. So you'll learn about all those today. So the Americas and how did they adapt is what you're going to be talking about. You could discuss some things with your families about changing to a new situation or a location, like when you switched from elementary to middle school, or what was, how did it feel and why was it difficult? The word adapt means to fit, change to fit new conditions. And again, California is having to change. Some people, with this global warming, and what do we do about it? How do we deal with water rationing and things like that? So it modifies the way we behave so that we can be more successful in the future. So I have linked a form to today's assignment, and you're going to answer questions from this slide deck, and you're going to use the notes there. There's one video to watch, but not more than one. There wasn't an ed puzzle, so I just made up my own questions. Then answer some questions from the Aztecs and from the Incas. And finally, which environment would you want to live in most and why? Now, the other thing about this is Here's the form that I'm going to send you. I have started to try and change my ways in terms of how I use Google Classroom because you have to use it so much. So you can see that I'm doing it by weeks, and and I'm numbering each one of the assignments, and then I'm also going to number these in Google Classroom. Power School. Now I might change this from just #1, #2 to #1am for the Americas, which is the same as it could be if we were in a classroom in your interactive notebook. So I'm just trying to come up with codes so you can keep track of what's going on. Today we're going to do Wednesday, 9 and 10. The other thing is from now on, I'm going to put a due date on things. So if you do it after the fact, I'm notified so we both don't have to go trundle back through and see what did you do in March, in April, in May. So this is supposed to help you and me. So if you have any questions or comments, you can always email me, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Go Bears.